when I started in the industry, it was because I wanted to build things. I wanted to see a positive impact to our economy. I knew that if we didn't have enough housing, we couldn't support our economic foundation. So for me, it was a lot about having a vision to supplying housing for people that really needed it in a way that would meet them where they were at. I wasn't, a resort builder of some, grandiose plan or scheme. It was like, no, I want to build for the people that live here, work here, play here.
Right.
My very first project, though, I actually was short money, and I didn't know exactly how I was going to fund that last, $5,000 or $6,000. And so, I was driving by a MoneyMart lender, and I looked up and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get, what will you give me for my Toyota Tercel? And so I say it was a wing and a prayer and a MoneyMart loan.
I love that.
So I started with very, very humble beginnings, like I said, a MoneyMart loan. And then my very first loan was actually, of substance, was actually through Valley First.
Yeah.
And, I'd been all approved for my loan through another financial institution that I will not name. And as I went to sign all the documents back then, you had to go into the bank to sign the documents. And as I went to go sign the documents, they said, oh yeah, and by the way, we just wanted to, ask you if you could get some sort of a co-signer for your loan. And I said, well, I'm a sole proprietor. I own the company. I'm the only shareholder. Like, what do you mean a co-signer for the loan? I don't know, like a father or a husband. And I literally in that moment, filled with all the, the rage and disappointment I possibly could feel, I thought, oh my goodness, you're asking me for a male co-signer. And I said, with all due respect, no. And I picked up all my things and marched out of there. And as I hit the corner of that, Bernard and Ellis, tears streaming down my face, I look across and there's Valley First. And I still remember I marched in and I said, I need to talk to one of your commercial lenders. They must have thought I was crazy because I've got all my documents. And it was difficult to start in those days, especially in a male-dominated industry. But, Valley First saw past all of that. And it's one of the reasons that I think First West is as amazing as it is, and is as necessary as it is in a market that oftentimes sees, things like gender or sees things that, that shouldn't be. But my success is I credit Valley First with that.